Yeah, welcome back to Weather Nation. Tracking strong to severe storms across parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. We've got several updates to tell you about. We do have one confirmed tornado.
That's right.
That has been happening across Indiana.
That's right, Mary. It's right on the Indiana-Ohio border. This is a particularly dangerous situation. The words of the National Weather Service office there for Jay County, Indiana. This storm, this tornado warning includes communities in east central Indiana like Portland, Red Key, Pennville, Noble. And again, this is a radar confirmed tornado, but looking at some of the chat groups here with the National Weather Service, we've been seeing reports of damage in places like Dunkirk, Indiana, a lot of debris out there. So this is a situation where you need to get into your shelter, into your safe spot right now.
Right. The tornado potential is pretty high out there today, folks. So this is kind of a 1-2 punch. We're dealing with the first wave right now. A lot of rotation out there. It's causing these tornadoes to spawn very quickly. So please stay vigilant, stay weather aware. You will not see these tornadoes coming. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Right. They're rain wrapped. So please don't try to go to your windows and look. Just to try to get to the interior-most portion of your home, of course, on the lowest level. And
this could be the start to a very active day. We want to put on the velocity product, which typically shows the winds going to and from a nearby radar site. And where we see the red and the green come together, right there north of Portland, Indiana, I'm going to circle it just so you can get an idea. This is where we have perhaps the best rotation in this storm, and that's why the National Weather Service is calling this a particularly dangerous situation. And again, we continue to see a lot of reports of that severe weather coming in across the state.
That's right. You know, the secondary threat today, too, is damaging straight line winds. And we also have that very high hail potential. In fact, some of the products that Barron can show you here, the hail swath, especially over the last hour, is impressive and not a good way. But just to the south of Bloomington, Indiana, you're noticing that purple color into the dark black that is showing some very large returns of hail across those areas. This is a day where we could see upwards of golf ball to even baseball size hail. So maybe a good idea to go ahead and move those cars inside if you've got a carport, anything of that nature.
Yeah, and that's important to note too. This storm also has a tornado warning on it. It's until 2:15 Eastern time, 1:15 Central time there. And again, we are going to see that chance for some rotation approaching Seymour and Interstate 65, a pretty big corridor running south of Indianapolis. So you need to seek shelter if you're in this vicinity as well. And again, Mary, we are seeing several other areas as we kind of broaden the view out here of potentially some severe weather. A big cluster of storms in between Indianapolis and Lafayette, Indiana. If you're traveling I-65 north of Indianapolis, you're going to run into that significantly severe cell. And even back into eastern Illinois, they're starting to pop up north of St. Louis up towards Springfield and Champaign.
That's right. So the tornado warning has been expired for Blackford County and Jay County in Indiana, and also for Lawrence and Monroe County. They're going to, again, extend some of these warnings. The one that we're really concerned about is the one there in that has been observed. They're in Jay County, Indiana. So they'll be extending that one because this storm that you're looking at here, just on the border, has the history of producing a tornado. It's already been observed. So if you're just over the border into Coldwater, Ohio, Rockford, you need to stay particularly vigilant with this particular storm for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. This is moving off towards the northeast very quickly at about, I believe, 45 miles per hour. And as it does so, again, like you mentioned, Coldwater, Ohio, that lake there is called Grand Lake St. Mary's, a pretty popular area. That will be moving into that vicinity in the next 20 or so minutes.
Yeah, this is your home turf, so you certainly know that area pretty well. Let's talk about the tornado watch that's also in effect. Let's take you over to some of the other graphics here, and we'll show you that this area is going to be looking at the tornado potential, not just here in the next couple of hours, but also through the remainder of the day today, where we have that in effect until 7 p.m. And remember, that means conditions are going to be favorable for ongoing isolated tornadoes in this particular region here. So that's a look at the broad view here of the radar, and you will notice as we push this through time, this is going to be the first round we're dealing with here, and then that area of low pressure is going to increase our rotation across southern Illinois, eastern Missouri, and it will send another wave through by this afternoon. So the tornado potential here and the window is far from over.
It really is, and it's important to note too, we'll get the graphics up in just a bit, but now St. Louis is under a tornado watch as we go into the evening hours. Really anywhere from St. Louis all the way up into Indiana and Ohio, that's where we have the best bet for that significant severe weather.
That's right. We'll be right here tracking the severe storms, taking you hour by hour, and also talking timing and impacts and a very heavy rain threat as well. We're Weather Nation. We'll be right back. Stay with us.